Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. I'm Prashasti Arora and today we will be talking about a very important institution, that is the World Health Organization. We will understand the challenges that grip this organization. We'll talk about India and the World Health Organization, and we'll talk about the functions of this important specialized agency of the United Nations. Now a little about myself before we start the session. I've done journalism and I enjoy delving deep into current affairs and current events. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, Course Savvy YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already, and you can follow me on my Unacademy profile with the username Prashasti1232, and you can avail an additional 10% extra discount by using the code PRAS10. Do also follow me on my Telegram channel for regular updates and regular updates on my study sessions, and of course the study material is also provided on my Telegram channel, so please do follow me there right away. Now a little announcement before we start the session. Iconic price hike is coming very soon. With the Iconic subscription, you will get connected to your personal coach. There will be main test series with evaluation. There will be customization of your study planner that will help you fine tune your preparations. There will be study booster sessions. There will be high intensity workshops. There will be answer writing daily, and of course acceleration of your preparation with daily content. So please do upgrade from the plus subscription to the Iconic one. Now let's discuss about this institution, very important institution. And of course during the times that we're in, during the coronavirus pandemic, it becomes even more important for us to understand this institution. Now remember that this institution is based out in Geneva, and it has been in news, of course, because of the way it has handled the coronavirus pandemic. And the fact is that India's victory in the elections to the post of executive board president of the World Health Assembly is also why we should know everything about this institution. Now about the organization, it is one of the 17 specialized agencies of the United Nations that was set up in 1948 in Geneva, Switzerland. Now what is it responsible for? It is responsible for coordinating actions related to public health, and of course tackling issues pertaining to an outbreak and control of diseases and pandemics, for example the coronavirus pandemic. Now it has, how many nations does it have? It has 194 nations presently and is headed by a director general. Now member states elect representatives to the World Health Assembly, which is the supreme body of this institution. So please remember that member states elect representatives to the World Health Assembly. Now when is the World Health Day celebrated? It is celebrated on the 7th of April, and the theme for the year 2020 was the year of nurses and midwives. This was in the news for a really long time, so please remember this. Now, the role of the World Health Organization includes coordination. The first important function is the coordination of health policies around the globe and being an authority for research on various matters that are pertaining to public health. Now we know that health is a major priority for any government, and in that regard there is there is always a need for an institution slash an organization that will deal with the public health in the larger context, and for this World Health Organization is there. Now the second important function of the WHO is collaborating with national governments and other organizations on matters relating to public health. So of course there are not only does this institution research about public health, but it also coordinates with national governments, whose of course every government's priority, one of the top priorities is health. Now the third important function of the WHO is assisting governments when requested to enhance health facilities, and of course the last important function is providing any kind of assistance, especially technical assistance in regard to public health. So these are the important functions and role of the World Health Organization. Now remember that it has successfully eradicated smallpox around around the world, and it is on the verge of achieving universal elimination of polio. Now, remember that only Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria have reported few cases regarding polio, and it is definitely, on the verge of achieving the universal elimination of polio. Now, it has also reduced the burden of malaria and other vector-borne diseases. So this is where an institution like this becomes even more pertinent to understand. Now, talking about the challenges to this institution, remember that the organization, just like other international organizations, which is related to the United Nations, is dependent on funding from donor nations. ठीक है, जब ये funding from donor nations होता है, so of course some problems are bound to arise. Now, this also enables the nations to set an agenda and subvert the entire process related to the functioning of the World Health Organization. Now, remember that presently the US, the outgoing US President Donald Trump had threatened to quit the organization and cut funding to the tune of USD 400 billion to the organization. So this is the major challenge, that it is dependent on donor nations, and the US is the largest donor to the World Health Organization. Now, the organization has of course clearly failed to handle regarding the handling of the coronavirus pandemic, and of course it has been under the scanner for all the wrong reasons. And in fact, its refusal to declare it a pandemic till March 2020 has cost a lot of lives, and which could have been saved if the World Health Organization was a little more proactive and a little more acknowledging of this pandemic. Now, another issue is that it has failed to give out data and seems to be dancing to the Chinese tunes, despite the fact that World Health Organization did inquire about the origins of the coronavirus pandemic. It has not had a bold concrete stance on from where the pandemic did where the origins lie of this pandemic. And of course, it has also not been it did not stand up really correctly when when the China in regard to investigation on China. Now, of course, its primary responsibility as a coordinating body amongst nations has been challenged with the emergence of the non-governmental organizations and other intergovernmental organizations. Of course, because there are other institutions that are also overlapping, its primary responsibility is being challenged. Now, of course, another failure, if it's so is to say, that comes under the World Health Organization is the fact that the organization has not been able to deal with the Ebola outbreak in the African continent. And in fact, the last important challenge that this institution faces is that the dream of accessibility of health-related treatment and universal health insurance coverage is still a dream that is far-fetched in nature. And this is an area where the World Health Organization surely needs to work upon. Now, like other international organizations, it is becoming redundant and will need to change in order to survive in this post-corona world. And in fact, the Prime Minister Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi too had echoed this sentiment and talked about the fact that the nations should be more prepared to deal with the fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. And now, of course, the signs of recovery are showing for almost every economy. And for the post-coronavirus world, of course, this institution needs to become more proactive and bold in nature. In fact, the Prime Minister also said he made these comments. These comments were made during the G20 Grouping 20 Summit in 2020, which took place under the leadership of Saudi Arabia. I have done an entire explainer on the G20 summit, so please do have a look at that. Now, talking about India and this institution, now who is coordinating with the World Health Organization? It is the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that is coordinating with the issues pertaining to the World Health Organization. Now, the World Health Organization country cooperation strategy, talking about that, India has developed and issues related to diabetes management, elimination of tuberculosis, other communicable diseases have been been, to some extent been tackled under this institution. Now, the organization and the government have also launched the National Strategic Plan for Elimination of Malaria from 2017 to 2022, and it seeks to eliminate, malaria by 2027. So let's see how far we can achieve this dream. And of course, India has been a great beneficiary from the World Health Organization, right? So this was about the institution. I hope you've got a hang of this institution, what it does, what does it come under, what is the exact role of this institution, what are the challenges पर एक question आ सकता है, so इसके challenges बहुत अच्छे से करिएगा, ठीक है? So this is it from my side. Please do subscribe to Unacademy subscription if you've not done that right away. If you've not done that already, please do that right away, and do upgrade to the iconic subscription to get the additional benefits. This is it from my side. See you next time.